What I really like about this intro is that I'm over here dancing. Janae looks dead inside, and Nick is just staring at his phone. But welcome to Pumpkin Guts, the show where we spill our guts on all things horror and Halloween. I'm Ryan.
I'm Janae.
And I'm Nick.
Again, so weak.
I'm Nick.
There. Don't you hear that heavy metal playing in the background?
No.
It's getting me fucking amped.
Is it?
No, I can't hear it.
Is it?
Turning me on.
Is it turning you on?
It's turning me on.
It's gonna be the joke now.
I hope everyone follows it because else it's just weird.
Yeah. Otherwise, people are thinking Nick.
Why is this guy always turning on?
People are thinking Nick is a creeper. Welcome to another episode of Pumpkin Guts. We are talking about horror and spooky and scary skeletons and all that jazz. If you are new here, we're some hooligans in Central Florida. Go to a bunch of haunted houses around here. I'm always going to call it. We're always the hooligans.
No, I'd rather be separated.
We're the hooligang.
No.
This isn't gonna stick.
It might.
I mean, you are the host, so you can technically say.
Can we be the
want.
hula ghouls?
No. Take hula out of everything.
Do you don't want a hula?
No.
We're always over here shimmying.
You're shimmying.
Nick shimmied.
I did one shimmy.
He did a shimmy.
I did one shimmy.
Anyway, we go to Halloween Horror Nights. We go to a bunch of different local haunted attractions. We just love spooky things, and we also make spooky things. We have made a feature film coming out September 5th called The Pumpkin Man. Mark your calendars. You'll be able to pre-order the Blu-ray on ScreamTeamReleasing.com September 5th. Will be shipping September 19th. So keep an eye out for that. We're very proud of it. Put a lot of time and effort into that. And I think anybody that likes the stuff that we talk about, is going to like that movie. So that being said, let's jump into today's topic, which is going to be our favorite non-HHN haunts that we have been to. Now, little caveat here. They have not been to as many as I have.
This is true.
We're going to start with Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. Take us away.
My favorite non-HHN haunt is Sir Henry's Haunted Trail in Plant City, Florida. We have spent a lot of time there filming portions of The Pumpkin Man, as well as Tales from the Book of Kerbis, our short film series leading up to The Pumpkin Man's release on September 5th. So just really cool to be able to utilize that environment when we need to make horror shorts. So we're really appreciative of the owner, Zach, for always inviting us down there and allowing us to use some of the set pieces. But I have a lot of high hopes for Sir Henry's in the next few years.
And they provided a lot of their scare actors for our shorts as well, and the feature. So we have such a debt that we owe to them.
The amount of resources they provided us.
Oh my goodness, we never could have made this stuff without them.
But that doesn't mean. I mean, that's not the reason we're speaking highly of it. It's legit like one of the better haunts we've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like, that's for sure. Like it's amazing. It really is.
And when you talk to them and you look at the work that they've done, and everything that they've put into building those sets, like, it is insane the passion and the love and the care they put into that place.
And just seeing how far they've come in the last 2 haunt seasons alone is just incredible. And kudos to the team for pulling all of that together, and not just doing it for Halloween, but doing it for Christmas and Valentine's Day as well. I mean, that's 3 big events within a 4-month span. And
we're going there tonight.
Yeah, we are.
We are going there tonight to film something, because that's how great the owner is. We've made such a great connection with them, and like Janae said, they just don't stop year round. They are working on that place, and it really pays off. I do love Sir Henry's. What was your favorite trail last year?
What was it called? The Headless Horseman one.
Headless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but they changed both Headless and Final. Was it called Final Cut?
Final Cut, yeah.
so much compared to the trails that they were the year before. Like Cry of Death was very similar, same structure and path of the trail, still one of my favorites. But Final Cut was probably the scariest just because of the closet scene alone.
Closet scene.
That never ended.
That was terrifying. And it was even scarier when we were filming Lady Gwen and there was no lights, and
arguably more scary when there's no one in there.
It's horrifying. And the spiders and cockroaches in there.
Well, even when we were just constructing that trail and some of the walls were down and we like turned a corner and there were some mannequins standing off in the distance, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was scary. But Headless, that's
probably my favorite too.
Great trail.
Yeah, all the pumpkins and the trees.
That moment when you walk out into the woods and you see the pumpkins and the lighting that they have, they make just the best use of all the space they have.
And then the village scene, which was new last year, was incredible.
And if you haven't checked out Tales from the Book of Kerbis, chapter 6, in that village scene, we did a one take in that scene. It was the coolest thing that we've ever done, and we could not have made that short or made that one take happen without Sir Henry's. So if you want a little glimpse into Sir Henry's, go check out that short that shows off that set very, very nicely. And then this year, they got a haunted hayride. I'm a sucker for haunted hayrides.
I'm excited.
I will be there more than one night.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see that. So, Sir Henry's, Plant City, Florida. Go check it out. Absolutely fantastic. Great people, great sets, great scares.
Great scare actors.
There's one little girl that came out of a chimney.
Oh my god!
Doing the backward
spider
rigging.
Whatever,
oh my god!
That was one of those holy shit moments.
That scared
I had
the
to stop
shit out of me.
I was frozen when I saw that.
Yeah, that was the definition of frozen in fear. That was terrifying.
So good.
Nick, what about you? What's one of your favorite non-HHN?
I'm pretty limited here. I mean, I could talk about Sir Henry's all day. I went to Hollow Scream in Tampa pretty much for, I don't know, I've been almost every year up until I went to college down in.
The houses usually stay the same.
They keep, I think, 2 or 3 every year. One would be Deathwater Bayou. The other one was
Backwater.
Can't remember what the other one. But yeah, they keep a couple of them the same. But they're all originals, which is what I like. I appreciate the creative vision that it takes to do that.
You're right.
They don't do IPs at Tampa and Hollow Scream.
Where are the houses at Hollow Scream Busch Gardens?
I would have to actually physically pull them out to remember the layout.
Like, do you think that they leave the sets there physically year round and just add improvements?
I do know a couple of them. They utilize the actual lines of some of the rides for, I think, the queues and some for the house. I do think they construct a little bit, but I think they pretty much make most use out of the space they have already. I'm curious. I don't want to delay us, but I want to actually look at the map. It's pretty well spread out too. Like the good thing about Hollow Scream in Tampa, if you've never been, it's like they make use of the full park. They put scare actors everywhere. They put scare actors in the bushes and the trees. And they do a really good job of kind of utilizing every space they have. I mean, Hollow Scream is great. It's not at the level of HHN. Obviously, they don't have the budget and the space and the resources, but I think I would definitely recommend Hollow Scream. It's cheaper. It's more realistic as far as getting everything done in one night. The lines are usually, I mean, they're pretty long, but I think HHN probably takes the cake as far as line queues.
I think we should probably also mention we have, the three of us, been to Hollow Scream Orlando, and if you're planning on going to one or the other, probably go to Busch Gardens. They have more years under their belt.
Somewhere well established, and they kind of know what they're doing.
The one at SeaWorld, it just hasn't quite found its footing yet. So,
or it was year number 2 this past year, so it'll be their 3rd year.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, the Forgotten is the other house that they do pretty much every year, and it's like a vampire themed house. It's actually really good. That one's awesome. They usually do, like, I think they had 5 houses and 6 or 7 scare zones throughout the park at Hollow Scream. but
They
it's
do
fun.
a lot of scare zones at
Yeah, I
the
thought
Hollow
it was
Screams.
interesting they did more scare zones.
Yeah,
than
actually,
houses.
right now, this was what year am I looking at here? I think
I don't know what year are you looking at here.
might be last year. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Yeah.
scare zones
Yeah,
and
they have a
5
lot.
houses. Yeah, no, I would recommend it if you haven't been. It's like I said, it's cheaper. It's more doable as far as like a time limit and what you can do.
Mhm.
And the roller coasters are amazing. I'm a roller coaster
True.
nut, and Busch Gardens has some of the best in the country.
True.
So they have that, and Universal does not. They have the Mummy, which I love. They have Rip Ride, which is great, but Busch Gardens has great rides. Yeah, Hall Stream, Busch Gardens, or I mean, SeaWorld was cool. I don't know. I think they could. I mean, they'll definitely be improving every year. I think as they go on.
Right.
I'm willing to wait a few more years before
before
I
we
go
go
back.
back.
though.
Yeah, I don't feel a need to like. It didn't make me want to go back. I'm glad we did it in one night, and I honestly liked the show they had. I know you guys probably had mixed feelings about it. I don't. Did you enjoy it?
I did not
You
like
did
the
not
show,
like it.
no.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun.
They did have more shows that we didn't make, so I'd be
Right.
curious to see
What those were.
what those look
Yeah.
like. I'm sure none of them compared to Nightmare Fuel,
no.
but
All right.
That's. I mean, as far as me, that's mostly what I can talk about. I've not been to many,
Well,
but yeah, you can kind of take the realms here as far as this because I know you've been to more than we have.
I've
so.
been to a lot. Not as many as I'd like, but I have been to a lot. Some of the ones that that really, like, I'll just rattle off a few here. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Indiana. So I've been to more up there than I have down here. But down here, obviously Sir Henry's. I've been there. We went for halfway to Halloween. We went to 13th Floor in Jacksonville. I thought that was a lot of fun. Not too long ago, 2018, there was a house in Fort Myers. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it, but I went, and that house was kind of bad.
where was it?
I don't remember. It started out good, and then it just became like trash bags on the walls. And
Is this the one you were gonna be a scare actor in?
I went for one night, and then I got bored, and I was like, I'm leaving. So there's a few good ones that I've been to in Indiana. The first, I honestly don't even know if this is still open, but it's in Mishawaka. It's called Fear Itself. They had, I think, 5 different houses, and truthfully, they had one of the scarier houses that I have ever been in. I think it was called Cuckoo's Nest. I really can't remember. I'm gonna look it up.
Cuckoo's Nest sounds interesting.
Fear Itself, Mishawaka.
We had some haunts back in my neighborhood when I was a kid, trick-or-treating. Back when trick-or-treating was like a real thing,
Yeah,
by the
it's
way.
so sad that it's not really anymore. Okay, so they have since changed it. So it used to be called, I think it was called Cuckoo's Nest or something, but they have since changed it, that theme to now Ward 13 Zombie Asylum. Fear Itself, very fun, very great, very great themes and very great showmanship. The one that I went to that is still there is called Rock Monkey Caves, and that's a house that just takes place in caves, and it is very eerily quiet, and that one is really cool, and that's one of those, most haunted houses, they trickle you in, they don't they stagger the line and don't do a conga line like HHN does, and that's one where it really pays off to have that, because you're so isolated and by yourself, and it's very, very good. Some of the other ones, let's see, what do we got here? Indie Scream Park, that's in Indianapolis. Love that house, or that park when I went, and it's kind of sad to me that you guys haven't really gotten to experience a true Scream Park. Sir Henry's is going to be the closest thing that both of you will have experienced up until now. But Scream Parks are, basically a theme park for only haunted houses.
Is that what Not Scary Farm is?
No, that's still a theme park.
Where is that? I don't
California.
know. It's California.
Yeah,
That place
Yeah.
looks awesome.
Yes,
I've
I
only seen
really
YouTube
want to. I
videos.
really want to go to Knott's. But Scream parks tend to be more in the Midwest. I know we have Screamageddon here, which is owned by the same company that does Indy Scream Park. So that's very similar to what you would experience in the Midwest. But my number one favorite of all time, hands down, I love HHN. I love Sir Henry's, but this is the first haunted house I ever went to. It's the Niles Scream Park in Niles, Michigan. I will forever claim that as my favorite haunted house because they have 3 haunted houses, the Field of Screams, and a haunted hayride, and it's just it hits all the right notes for a haunt for me. So I'm hoping we can go this year because I really want to get Janae to see it, and you and I have been watching their behind the scenes stuff. Like just based off of that, like what do you think?
I mean, they've done a really good job with the small documentary series they're doing. It definitely gives, like, I appreciate the employees who work on that year round a lot more because I see all the hard work that goes into it. Because you would think since they're only open for maybe 1.5 months out of the year, they probably have other jobs. And while that may be true for a lot of the like operations employees, there are a lot of employees who work on that full time throughout the year, which is a pretty cool gig to have.
Yeah, it was something that I wanted to do when I lived up there because I was very close to Niles, Michigan. I was right on the border of Indiana and Michigan, and I always wanted to go up there. And I feel like you would definitely just love Niles.
I mean, I don't have a doubt that I would. It was voted the number 1 attraction last year. I don't know if you knew that.
It is consistently.
Actually, I think it was voted number 1 like multiple years. I'm pretty sure.
They are, and they are, I believe, the second longest running haunted house in the country.
They'll be celebrating 50 years.
50 years, which is why
That's crazy.
That's exactly why
wild.
I want to go this year because I want to be there on the 50th and get some of that 50th merch.
See, here's my hesitancy since I've not grown up, but the last 4 years, I've really only gone to Horror Nights and now Sir Henry's. I don't trust people. I know they're not supposed to touch you, but I know Horror Nights takes that seriously, and then you don't know who else takes it seriously.
Well-established haunts take it seriously.
I know. Like Sir Henry's, none of their actors would touch me either, but it's just a fear that I had when I was first getting into Horror Nights.
I think it's a legit fear to have. for anyone.
Obviously, I went to Niles many times with many different people.
No, I know.
Not once did anyone get touched.
I know.
And then there's the 17th door.
It's an irrational fear, okay, for most haunted houses. But it's still something that always crosses my mind. Like, I know Horror Nights people get so close.
But that's kind of part
and
of
I know they're trained to do that, and I've finally gotten comfortable with that. But I trust Horror Nights training, not so much other places. I would love to go to Niles.
Niles is, like, intensity-wise, Niles doesn't even come close to Horror Nights, and it probably wouldn't even come close to Sir Henry's.
But then you say it's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
See, I've also never been in a haunted, 13th floor was, or
13th floor, yeah.
That was what, maybe 20 minutes?
It was probably about 20, 25 minutes.
And it
goes by fast.
It does go by fast, especially when you catch up to the group in front of you. But at the same time, I felt like there were a lot of scare actors missing because it was halfway to Halloween.
Yeah.
Like there were large portions where we were walking through and we didn't encounter anyone. Yeah. And I feel like Niles has a different expectation for that type of...
Yeah, there's
but you
definitely...
said there's a lot of animatronics at the same time.
There are. But there are a lot of scare actors
happening.
Too. Yeah. So, I mean, if you can go to Niles Haunted House, absolutely go to Niles Haunted House. It is a phenomenal haunt.
Looks like they've announced some of the attractions.
Do you want to read them off?
Blackbeard's Revenge.
Yes. They announced that one in the documentary.
Yep.
Ghostly Hollow.
Yes, please.
the Field of Screams.
That one's always there. And then the Haunted Hayride, and then
Dark Territory.
Haunted Hayride.
Haunted Hayride. And then Hooded.
Hooded is a...
You get blindfolded?
Yeah, that's an additional thing. I've never done that.
Yeah, that's a no for me.
The last weekend of operation, which is usually the weekend after Halloween, they will do a lights off haunt.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Niles, great place. I cannot say enough great things about them. Yeah, if you're into horror, if you're into haunted houses, and you've only done HHN, expand. Trust me, expand.
And if you're into the extreme stuff, check out 17th Door in California.
Yeah, that's truthfully 17th Door is the only extreme haunt where I would be like, I would never do an extreme haunt, but that's the one that I would be like, I could do it. I'm not going to, but I could.
But you feel like you get enough of an experience if you watch their documentary on
That's
yeah,
true.
Spook Show 17.
It's entertaining.
It's very entertaining.
Tubi.
On Tubi. Go check out Spook Show 17. It is a very, very fun documentary. Well, that was a short episode, but I think we're gonna call it right there.
I think if we do this episode again in a couple of years, we'll have a lot more to talk about because we're going to be going to do a lot more homegrown haunts.
By then, they will have experienced Niles. I promise you.
And probably Netherworld is.
Oh, Netherworld. We were so close. We were this close to going to Netherworld. We were driving from Tennessee back to Florida. We went through Atlanta, and I was like, okay, we're going to stop and do Netherworld on the way down. They opened the weekend after that weekend. So, on that note, give me some heavy metal. That's going to do it for this episode of Pumpkin Guts. We hope to catch you here in this pumpkin patch.
See you
next time. Until then, peace.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Get it. Get it. Hey.